ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita's basic session. So before we proceed ahead, I would like to ask, please tell us what we discussed yesterday. Yes, you can write in the chat box also, but it's better if you can unmute yourself and tell us. Yes, Aditi, you were present yesterday?
सॉरी प्रभु जी, नहीं.
नहीं थी. And Karuna Mataji, can you tell something what we discussed yesterday? Shubham Prabhu.
About the supreme godhead personality and about the demigods and how Shankar is different from the demigodheads, from the demigods, and how the supreme lordhead is unbeatable or it's absolute. About that, we
Okay,
learn.
yes. Okay, good. Very nice.
Yes, Prabhu.
Supreme Lord is absolute.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
we cannot be God. We are a tiny jiva, not the ultimate God. Okay, good. Karuna Mataji told. And what else? Okay, thank you. But
Thank you, Prabhu.
everyone should tell something. That will be very nice. If we have discussions, interactions, then I will be able to understand that you are understanding or not understanding. So accordingly, I will uh, modulate my presentation. So, okay, we are going ahead. So next session, which is very, very important session, and the goal of this course, Bhagavad Gita, Manual of Life. So the goal of this course, which we are going to do, is described in this session. What is that goal? Discover the happy planet. Right now, we are living in miserable planet, isn't it? How many of you agree? Please raise your hand. We are living in a miserable planet right now. Okay, only three students, four. That's all. Everyone else they think that we are living in happy planet. Yes, Aditi, Anand Prabhu, Asta, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Chitesh Prabhu, Riddhi. So what do you think? Do you think the planet in which we are living, it's a happy planet? No. Okay, good. Because until unless we understand that our present situation is miserable, how can we desire to go to some happy situation? That's why there was a song. I don't know how many of you have heard because you might be hearing modern songs. But in my childhood, I heard one Hindi song in Hindi movie. आज चल के ले चले तुझे उस गगन के तले जहाँ गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो. So just see, they are making movies like they were making movies like this earlier, but nowadays nobody can understand what kind of movie they make. At least I have a good fortune of not seeing any kind of these nonsense movies from last 12 years. But earlier, old movies, Hindi movies, at least although that is also another kind of rubbish thing, but at least they gave some message. So in this movie song, the hero is telling, right now we are in a miserable situation. So he's telling to his girlfriend that, let me take you to uh, that sky where there will be no misery, no crying, nothing, only and only happiness. So they are there. Many people they talk about all these things, but they exactly don't know where is that sky. Uh, but we know that sky is a spiritual sky. Right now we are living in this material sky, which is miserable. But there is a sky, spiritual sky, far beyond this material existence. There is a spiritual existence, and spiritual sky is there, where spiritual planets are situated, known as Vaikuntha planets. So on those planets only, one can experience real bliss, happiness. So that is the subject matter of this session. So we are going to discover the happy planet where every moment is a festival. Wow. Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Every thought is an expression of love. And every moment is a festival. And in this material world, every dance step is boring. And every word is gali, abusive word. And every uh, thought is expression of lust. And every moment is moment full of misery. But spiritual world is a world where every moment is a festival, every thought is expression of pure love for Krishna, and every step is a dance, and every word is song. So such a nice one. How many of you are interested to going back to that spiritual sky, spiritual happy planet? Yes, only two, three, four, five. That's all. And what about others? They want to remain here in this miserable material world. Okay. What about you, Jitesh bro? Vikas, Vivek, Shyama Mataji.
Prabhuji, always prepared to go to Vaikuntha.
Yeah, but you are not raising your hand. That's why I asked.
What? Sorry. Hare Krishna.
You didn't raise your hand. That's why I asked.
I
Okay, no
raised
problem.
my hand and lowered
So,
my hand immediately when you spoke about Earth. Earth पे तो
okay,
क्या
good.
है?
That means you
Worst
also
planet.
want. Very nice. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
discuss
Hare
about this.
Krishna.
So, so the happy planet where every moment is a festival. So before trying to search for those happy planets, first of all, we'll try to understand uh, the miserable planets. So this miserable material world. Then we'll talk about blissful spiritual world and how we can get blissful spiritual world. The formula is very simple. ABCDE formula. That's all. So we have already discussed a lot about these miseries and problems in this material world in our, I think, third or fourth session. But we wish to continue this. Why? So that we may become a little bit convinced that in this material world, we are not at all going to get any kind of happiness. But you can believe me, family, and this is a fact I can guarantee. Even after listening, even after seeing, still because of illusion, because of the influence of Maya, we will again and again develop this expectation, asha. Asha means expectation that yes, I can be happy. I can become happy in this world. That's why हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. But the fact is, nobody can become कामयाब in this world. That's a fact because this the nature of this material world is like this. You cannot expect happiness here. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is already told he is the manufacturer of this material world. The person who has manufactured this world, he has told that this world is dukhalayam ashashvatam. So how can we make this world Sukhalyam and Shashvatam? That's not possible. Suppose if a person who has made a Goshala. So Goshala, so what you will get there? You will get cows there. If a person who has created some medical shop, Aushadhalaya, so what you will get there? Aushadhi. Aushadhalaya means Aushadhi. Pushpalaya, in Pushpalaya, what you will get? Pushpa, flowers. Huh? You cannot get means grains or some other product in Pushpalaya or Aushadhalaya. If you go to some Aushadhalaya, means medical shop, and you ask, I want Android phone. So what he will say? Better you go to Agra. Agra. In Agra, there is a big hospital for Pagal Khana is there. Mental hospital is there. So he will give you the address for that mental hospital. You don't see this. It's written here, pharmacy, medical shop, and you are asking me Android phone. So similarly, Lord Krishna created this material world, and he has labeled it. What he has labeled? Miserable material world. So Krishna labeled in Sanskrit language, Dukhalayam, which can be translated as miserable material world. So that's why everywhere miseries are there. And another thing, Dukhalyam Ashashvatam. Ashashvatam matlab temporary. So that is the nature of this material world. So temporary nature of material world. आप लोग this slide देखिए. So what temporary nature of material world is? The bodies of beauty queens who in their youth make men go crazy. What happens to them after some years? Become dried up in old age like grapes turned into raisins. Earlier, the same girl was making youth crazy and everyone was getting attracted to her. But after a few decades, nowadays, after a few years, you can say, after a few decades, all the men go, all the men, they run away. So that is the temporary nature of this material world. So why can't the beauty of this world remain permanent? What is the reason? Every one of us know that nothing is permanent in this material world. Beauty, wealth, knowledge, fame, anything, all the opulences in this material world are temporary. What is the reason? We tend to forget the real permanent substance soul and give importance to the shadow, this material body. That is our illusion. Because of the influence of Maya or illusion, we forget the real permanent substance that is soul, and we only think about material body. Interestingly, everyone knows that this ultimately this body is going to become old, and the body is going to get destroyed. But still, everyone is only working hard just to maintain this body. So many beauty parlors are there. So many health clinics are there. So many exercise, yoga clubs, asana, so many things, so many yoga societies, everything is there. Why? And all these are flourishing. Why? Because everyone is working hard to keep their body ever fresh, youth, permanent. Uh, That is the reason. And why this is there? Because of ignorance. Because we are in bodily consciousness. We think ourselves to be body, and because of illusion, we think that we can maintain this body permanently. But nothing is going to remain permanently. So, a story of a liquid beauty. This is very nice story. You hear what is beauty in this material world? Everyone is attracted towards beauty in this world. So, what is the nature of beauty in this world? The file you specified cannot be opened. Oh, it cannot be opened. It is now it is open. No sound. Okay, let me share the sound. It's very nice story. Liquid beauty.
I wish to narrate one short story. that one man, one boy, was attracted by a beautiful girl. So the girl does not agree, and the boy is persistent. So in India, of course, the girls, they keep their chastity very strictly. So the girl was not agreeing, so she said, all right, I agree, after 1 week, you come. She appointed such and such time you come. So the boy was very glad. And the girl took some pargeti throughout the 7 days. And she was passing stool day and night and vomiting. And she kept all these vomits and stool in a nice pot. So when the appointed time came, the boy came and the girl was sitting on the door. The boy inquired, where is that girl? She said, I am that girl. No, you are not. You are so ugly. She was so beautiful. You are not that girl. No, I am that girl. But I have now separated my beauty in a different pot. What is that? She saw, this is the beauty, this stool and vomit. This is the ingredient. Actually, anyone may be very robust or very beautiful. If he passes stool for 3 or 4 times, everything changes.
Hare Krishna. So, this is the nature of beauty of this material world, with which we become so much attracted. So I think everyone knows also this thing, but illusion is so strong, Maya is so strong that as soon as one comes across such beautiful boy or girl, they become attracted. But everyone knows what is this attraction. This attraction for this body is just made up of stool, urine, mucus. That's all, and one is ready to sacrifice his life, everything. Just imagine a college boy, if he gets attracted towards a beautiful girl, so-called beautiful girl, then he is so much in illusion. He comes into so much illusion that he's ready to sacrifice his career, his parents, his all this, his life also. Just imagine, so much illusion is created only because why this illusion is there? Because of ignorance. One cannot understand. And why this ignorance is there? Because of uncontrolled senses. Otherwise, one can see also. Everyone knows that beauty does not remain for long. So this is nature of this material world. Temporary beauty. So material world versus. So this is the lesson we learn from liquid beauty story. First is uh, the fleeting beauty of material body. Fleeting beauty means it is always decreasing and ultimately it gets destroyed. And then real beauty is in the spiritual spark. As long as we have already discussed about this, as long as the the spiritual spark is present within the body, for this reason only a person is attractive. As soon as the soul leaves the body, there is no attraction for the dead body. Suppose if Miss Universe is there, so she attracts everyone. And at that very moment, if the soul leaves the body is still there, the young body is still there, but no will get attracted towards the body because immediately after a few minutes or few hours, all the freshness, all the beauty of the body goes down immediately. Body becomes completely pale, unattractive. So that's why the second lesson is real beauty is in the spiritual spark, the soul. So one should not get attracted madly to this temporary beauty and forget the goal of life. This is the lesson we learn from this liquid beauty example. So mundane intellectuals and aesthetics, however, are deluded by the outward beauty and attraction of the relative truth and are unaware of the spiritual spark, which is both truth and beauty at the same time. So there was an article in newspaper came that truth is not beautiful, and the thing which is beautiful is not truth. And somebody wrote this article in the newspaper. So when a disciple showed it to Srila Prabhupada, that such kind of article has come, truth is not beautiful, and beautiful things are not truth. Srila Prabhupada said, no, this is incorrect. Truth is beautiful, and beauty is truth. But then he commented, and then he wrote another article. So this is the conclusion of mundane intellectuals in the mundane world. Means this in this material world, truth and beauty are always contradictory. Truth never appears to be beautiful in this material world. Truth is that we are going to die. Truth is that we are going to become old, inactive, invalid. That is truth, which is not beautiful. Nobody likes that. And the thing which is beautiful, that is not truth, because that just remain for uh, certain period of time only. But then Srila Prabhupada explained, but actual truth and actual beauty are always same. Means actual truth is always very beautiful. So actual truth, it means absolute truth. Absolute truth. Krishna is absolute truth, and Krishna is completely fully beautiful, most beautiful. That's why in absolute world, in a spiritual circle or a spiritual world only, this truth and beauty are same, one and the same. But in this material world, truth and beauty are not the same. So this is the difference between material world versus spiritual world. Our material bodies belong to material world, but we belong to spiritual world, because this material body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, all these substances, and these elements, they come from this material world. But we, the soul, we are made up of Satchit Ananda. So we belong to spiritual world. The material body is perishable, full of ignorance and pain producing. The spiritual body is permanent, full of knowledge and bliss producing. That's why spiritual body is Sata, means permanent, Chitta means full of knowledge, and Ananda means blissful. And material body is Asata, Achita, Nirananda. Asat means perishable, or Achit means full of ignorance, dull, and Niranand means it's pain producing. If you just deeply analyze about this body or sense nature of sense gratification, so the amount of happiness which we expect to get from this body is very less. Uh, the organs, any part of our body is capable of giving us extreme pain and misery than giving us some happiness. Just like a small finger in our hand or in our leg, smallest finger, what happiness we can get from this? Practically no happiness. But but if it gets hurt, if it gets cut, then whole day our attention is towards that. We become so miserable. That is the nature. If you eat something, so what happiness we get? Just for few minutes, we eat some tasty thing, and because of eating, just to arrange those eatables, we require to cook, we require to purchase items, and then after eating, we become sick. So miseries are so much. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, uh, "Nateshu ramde buddha, nateshu ramate buddha." What is that? Adyantavantu kaunteya, yehi samsaparsa ja bhoga, dukkha yone evate, adyantavantu tu kaunteya, nateshu ramate buddha. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter that yehi samsaparsa bhoga. As soon as one engages one's senses with the objects of the senses, tongue for tasting, eye for seeing something beautiful of this material world, ear for hearing some nice music song, and all the senses, whatever sense objects are there. So as soon as the senses come in contact with sense objects of this material world, that is known as yehi samsa parsaja bhoga. So what becomes? Then it becomes dukkha yonaya evate. Yonaya means source of birth. Dukkha. So what it produces, it becomes a source of birth for dukkha, miseries. And that's why, and it has adi antavantu kaunteya, whatever happiness we think that it has got beginning and it has got end. So that's why nateshu, in these activities, ramate buddha. Buddha means those who are intelligent, those who are really intelligent. They do not uh, take pleasure in such uh, third class, first class material enjoyment. They become situated spiritually and they realize that ultimately spiritual happiness is the ultimate happiness. So spirit souls belong to spiritual world, but with the because of disobedience to the Lord, the spirit souls they come to this material world and they have to accept miserable material body, birth after birth, and in this way, birth after birth, miserable situation continues. And this difference between spiritual world and material world has been explained in Bhagavad Gita as ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अथ शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. Bhagavad Gita 15 chapter, verse number 1. Krishna explains what is material world and what is spiritual world. So this material world is compared to upside down banyan tree, just like reflection. It's like a reflection. A spiritual world is like the tree on the bank of the river, and material world is like the reflection of the tree in the water. So in this reflection is having two kinds, two nature. Uh, Two kinds of nature are there. First is the reflection is perverted in nature. Perverted, you understand? If you have studied in science, reflection, then you might be understanding. Perverted means ulta, opposite direction, upside down. So first thing is it is perverted, and second thing is it is virtual. This is not real, but it exactly looks like, just like on the surface of the water, the tree is reflected, so it is upside down. So the thing which is topmost in the water, in the original tree, that becomes the lowest in the reflection. That is the meaning of perverted. And second thing, the original tree contains real fruits, but in the reflection, although the fruits are seen, but as soon as one jumps and dives in the water to get the fruits, what will he get? He will get only water. There will be no fruit. There will be no taste. Similarly, this material world is reflection, perverted reflection of original world, spiritual world. That's why the thing which is highest in the spiritual world, it becomes the lowest, worst class thing in the material world. So what is highest thing in the spiritual world? Highest thing in the spiritual world is pure love for Krishna is the highest thing. And this love is exhibited in 5 different rasas. Santa rasa, Dasa rasa, Sakya rasa, Vatsala rasa, and Madhurya rasa. These 5 different rasas are there. In detail, we'll discuss in the upcoming sessions. But the highest rasa is Madhurya rasa. Madhurya rasa means love between Krishna and gopis, love between Krishna and his queens. So queens' relationship with Krishna and gopis' relationship with Krishna is known as Madhurya Ras. And among these two, one is Swakiya Ras and another is Parkiya Ras. And highest between these two is the relationship with of gopis with Krishna, because that is the relationship of girlfriend and boyfriend without getting married. When they come in contact, that kind of relationship is Madhur, that is the Parkiya Ras, and that is the highest kind of rasa, or highest kind of thing in the spiritual world, which exists in most purest form, 100% pure form. But when this same relationship gets reflected in the material world, that becomes a worst kind of relationship in this material world. That becomes a sinful activity, and that represents the highest degree of exhibition of lust. Highest to the highest degree, it is impure. That's why this. So that relationship between girlfriend boyfriend in the material world becomes the most inferior quality. So in the spiritual world, this relationship is of highest quality, and it is it exists in most purest form, and that's why it is eternal and permanent, and it gives the highest kind of bliss and happiness, and that is known as pure love for Krishna, prem. But in this material world, when it is exhibited, because it exists in most impure form, and it is the exhibition of lust, so instead of giving happiness or ananda, it only results in miseries, sorrow, and breakups. That is the nature of this relationship, material world and spiritual world. So uh, this example is given in Bhagavad Gita. So our material body is a bad copy of our spiritual body, a bad copy of the spiritual body. It looks exactly like a person is there, but actually this material body is just a duplicate copy, just like real marble versus fake marble. So apparently it appears, if you see from a distance, the fake marble also appears to be the real marble. But as soon as you come close, you can understand that there is a lot of difference. Similarly, when one is in ignorance, one who doesn't know the spiritual reality, then for him, the relationships in this material world appears to be real, permanent, and it appears to be an exchange of love. That's why any boy, he never says to his girlfriend that I lust you. He only says I love you. And in reply also it comes I love you too. But actually what it is just lust, because if somebody says I lust you, it is very inappropriate. Uh, his proposal will never be accepted. He will only let us slap. That's why nobody says I lust you. Actually it is I lust you only. That's all. Actual love exists only in the spiritual world. That is real marvel. In this material world, it's fake marvel. Just like real currency versus fake currency. It appears the same, but actually there is not at all. No similarity is there. But it appears from distance. And especially to those who have no knowledge, just like a small child. He's abodha. Abodha means he's foolish boy. So he may think that, oh, this is real note. If you give a fake currency note, the boy may think that I have got this 100 rupees note. But any grown-up child, grown-up boy, he knows, oh, this is not the real currency, although it appears to be like this. Similarly, in this world, those who have real knowledge, spiritual knowledge, those who have understood the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, they can very clearly understand the nature of this duplicate love, uh, fake love, which is actually lust, but it appears like love. And especially those who are engrossed in it, those who have no knowledge, they think that our feelings, they say it's our feelings, but it's not feeling, it's just exchange of love, attachment. This attachment, people like the attachment, that I have become attached to them, I have become attached to her, and they think because it has a illusory covering. So this maya is so strong, illusion is so strong that it makes them to think that they are developing some kind of love for them, but actually this is not love. This is just fake, false love. It's just a lust. And not only this between girlfriend and boyfriend, any relationship in this material world, any relationship you take, uh, relationship between parents and children, relationship between husband and wife, brother, sister, master, servant, all the relationships, it just appears to be a relationship of love. But actually, everything is lust in different form, in different degree. Uh, Just like the example of this reflection of tree is very appropriate. So the highest reflection, which we can observe the relation between girlfriend and boyfriend. So everyone can understand this is just exhibition of lust. But another relationships, parents and children, and brother, sister, and all these different relationships. It's very difficult to understand that this is also another kind of lust. But one who knows our real identity as a spirit soul, and we are actually everyone is related to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So if one can come to that spiritual platform, he can understand. Just like another example is real mango versus fake mango. So from distance, It appears to be same, but there is difference. You cannot get trust. And what is the difference? How can we know the difference? Because real mango will give you taste and fake mango will not give you taste. Similarly, any kind of material relationship, it just appears to be a relationship of love, but there is no taste. There is only suffering. That's all. Just like as soon as you bite a mango, fake mango, what you will get? Your teeth will only break down, but you will not get the juice of out of it. Similarly, that is so spiritual beauty versus material beauty. This is the difference. Spiritual beauty is it gets destroyed. Sorry, material beauty eventually gets destroyed, but spiritual beauty always remains as it is. That is Krishna's beauty, and the devotees of Krishna also maintain the same standard of beauty. So material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. That we should always remember. So okay. So till now we just discussed the miserable material world, but this is not the end. So we request you to come tomorrow also. Tomorrow we will have a positive side of this session. That is blissful spiritual world. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Yes, anybody has any question? Yes, Sri Prabhu, please ask.
No, no, Prabhuji, today. I don't have any questions.
Okay. Yes, Jitesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So I had this question from the last class, like what performed austerities to achieve Krishna?
What austerity should we perform?
You said, yeah,
Yeah. So the greatest austerity we can perform or we should perform or we must perform to get Krishna is to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna.
but there was
Yeah.
a goddess who performed austerities to receive Krishna, right?
Yeah, actually goddess of fortune, those who got Krishna as their husband. So they are his eternal consort. They didn't have to
Okay.
perform austerities.
Right.
They are his eternal consort.
Hare
But
Krishna.
if you want to become consort of Krishna, then you will have to perform great austerity. That austerity is to develop love for Krishna under the
I am okay as a
following the
friend or a brother.
footsteps of Queens of Dwarka.
Right.
Yes, it's possible. You can become. You can have any kind of relationship with Krishna in pure form of and pure love, not mundane relationship.
Certainly.
But our eternal relationship remains being servant of Krishna. In this material world, we practice this relationship as soon as we perfect this relationship of being servant of Krishna. So gradually, our a specific relationship with Krishna is revealed by His mercy, and we can uh, get to that destination.
Right.
Okay. Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
So one question is asked, Karuna Mataji asked, what about mother's love in this material world? So yes, of course, the only love which can be accepted as love to somewhat, some degree, is mother's love for their children. That's all. And rest everything is just exhibition of lust to some degree. But the only love which can be said to be pure, not fully pure, not fully pure, but to some degree it can be accepted, mother's love, because mother's love is selfless. She serves the child selflessly. There is no motivation. Not even father's love. Father's love also has got some selfishness is there, some kind of selfishness is there, but mother's love is selfless in most of the cases. At least I have experienced this, and many of you must have experienced this, because mother has got selfless love. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anything else? Okay, so we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.